I appreciate you watching. Hello and good morning. We've had another atrocity, this time in the Republic of Ireland, and the facts are the same as they always are. We've got a migrant from Africa who's come over to the Western world. This could have just as easily happened in Britain, Northern Ireland, the continent, America, Australia, Canada. It could have happened anywhere in the West. We are getting unvetted, fighting-age men being imported into our countries without our democratic consent. A lot of people say, regarding mass migration, we were never asked. I would push back on that rather hard. We were asked. We said no. They did it anyway. This is why you get civil unrest. This is why you get civil strife. This is why you get rioting. Because this is what happens when the elites do not listen to the electorate. This is how a civilization can come to an end. When the elites are so far removed from the regular man and woman on the street that it's not that they aren't hearing what you're saying, it's of no concern. Now, I'm going to go into this now because, as I say, this was rioting or civil unrest, if you prefer that term, over the past few days, and it's completely justifiable. Obviously, I cannot condone violence. I cannot condone any violent action against the police because I'd be demonetised. I'm with you in solidarity and I'm with you in spirit, alright? The same thing what happened in Southport last year. Completely avoidable, completely justifiable. However, violence is never the answer. So we'll get into the story from what I can see here. This is from the Knights Templar International. This is from a few days ago now. Riots erupt across Ireland as African is charged with an essay on a 10-year-old Irish girl at a migrant centre. 2,000 men torch police vans, buses and trams. Rioting is now spreading. I've brought up an article which I'm going to read out. This is from a left-leaning rag. So I think it's good that we read this because it shows how the mainstream media, both in Era and in Britain, actually characterise what people are doing. And I think it's important, so I'm going to do this now. 3 Irish police officers have been injured and 24 people arrested after a second night of disorder outside a hotel used to house asylum seekers in Dublin. The stones and fireworks were thrown at the police, one injured officer being struck in the head with a bottle and another suffering an arm injury. Disorder broke out following an initially peaceful protest over an alleged assault on a young girl in the vicinity in the early hours of Monday morning. Of the 24 arrests, 17 adults have been charged with public order offences and are due to appear before the Criminal Courts of Justice in Dublin on Tuesday. That's the first part. Second part. Additionally, 5 male juveniles have been arrested and released and will be dealt with under the Youth Diversion Programme. The Irish police said that during the course of operations on Wednesday night, 15 scooters and e-bikes were seized. This order came after widespread rioting at the site on Tuesday when a police vehicle was set on fire during hours of violence. And then finally, speaking on Wednesday, Garda Commissioner Justin Kelly said the violent scenes were anything but peaceful protest, labelling them as totally unacceptable. I tell you what's unacceptable, sir, is mass migration that nobody voted for, changing the demographics of entire countries on a whim, simply because you want to be nice. That's what's unacceptable. He added that the peaceful protest does not involve throwing bricks and bottles, burning police vehicles, or people arming themselves with weapons. He added that there was a robust response again to any further disorder. Police said the violence broke out on Tuesday. On the Tuesday protest was planned online. 7 people were arrested that night, and on Wednesday, with 5 being charged. The hotel complex housed families, including children, of course, got to get the children in, and living under Irish government's International Protection Programme for Asylum Seekers. They're not asylum seekers. They are third worlders flooding the Western world to change us demographically. They are aided by nefarious forces outside of the Western world that wish us ill, that want to see the West fall. This is my opinion. This has been done to us and has been enabled by useful idiots in local governments and probably the oligarchy above it. That's just my opinion, obviously. They have no care for the working class people of either Ireland, Britain, Northern Ireland, or anywhere in the Western world. Trump, obviously, is the exception, and we need to push back against it democratically, of course. I have skin in this game. My ancestry is from Southern Ireland, Wales, and England. My great-grandparents from my mother's side came over to Merseyside before the partition of Ireland, so they were British citizens, and I'm making this video as a show of support and solidarity to my brothers and sisters. We're all one people in the British Isles, even though we are two separate countries now, and I'll never view it any differently. The issue is where do you stand? Do you stand with the elites in all our countries? Ask yourself in Dublin, alright, ask yourself in Ara, do you feel that your government is any better than the British government, the way that they treat us? Do you think that you're treated any better? I'd wager if you're watching this video you probably think no. Now, I'm going to play a clip. This is from GB News. One of their reporters, who usually covers Northern Ireland, his name is Dougie Beattie. He was actually assaulted by the police in the Republic earlier this week, so I want to play this clip to give you some context first of all.
Today. Well, we were corralled in after midnight last night, and I was up this morning at just after 4:30, so here we are. But no, it was quite the night last night. Now, Eamon, the protest started to get very hot and heavy at one stage, and only being in Ireland, of course, the Garda Síochána have a mounted police force. They brought out their horses, and the locals decided that they would also bring out their horses, like a scene out of The Quiet Man, and 15 horses charged the Garda lines. It was like something out of the 17th century, to be honest. But that kicked everything off, Eamon, and riots started in this area of Staggart. We're right behind us. You can see the City West Hotel, and if it wasn't so dark, you would actually see all the bricks, bottles, and debris from the riot there. But as we went down in there to cover that riot, I've been covering riots for 32 years, Eamon, and as I went down in there, as you go in with the protesters, if it starts getting really, really hot and heavy, you move to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. You don't stay in the middle, and you get into the side of the police lines. You identify yourself as the media, and the police line goes on past you, and you are safe. You're then in behind the police lines. That didn't happen last night. First of all, the Garda Síochána decided we identified ourselves as the media with a camera, a light on top of it. I mean, we were unmissable. We were branded on our jackets, etc. And the Garda then rammed the camera girl into the fence.
So they were clearly identifiable as press. They had insignia and logos to say they were press. And the Irish police decided to assault them anyway. Is this the way a free country operates? Was this a genuine mistake? I don't think so. Again, that's just my opinion.
I then grabbed the camera, and then, of course, I was then attacked by the Garda Síochána, and you can actually, I don't know if you've got the footage or you can actually see it. They were targeting the media at that point.
We'll have it again later on in the programme, but my point is, I mean, and you know from working with the RUC or the PSNI and so many riots in Northern Ireland, there is a code, there is an etiquette to all of this. Now, this guy who attacked you, I've seen the footage, and we're going to show it again later on today, but this guy, he obviously knew who you were, what your job was about, yet he deliberately chose to push a shield into your face. I mean, it's not as if you couldn't be identified with a camera and lights and a crew around you and whatever. So, was he stupid or was he being political?
Well, there's 2 points to this. I first of all think I looked into their eyes, and they made a conscious decision to go for us. There's no doubt about that. They pepper sprayed us and then came straight at us with shields. Now, either they were very young and inexperienced and frightened. I mean, I could see the fear in their eyes, and I actually think it might have been a woman, to be honest about it. But she was being directed by another officer behind her, and he basically pushed her forward, and then she came at me, and I mean, you can actually see it. You can see it in their eyes. They come straight at us, and I'm hoping that it was just fear and a bit of naivety. If they were to be attacking the media, that is a different thing altogether. Because
So we'll leave that one there. But he's got a point. He's hoping it was naivety. I'm not so sure. At this point, the police are the enforcers of the regime. And when I say the regime, I mean liberalism. And this isn't specific to ERA or the United Kingdom. This is anywhere where the globalists have got their mitts. And this is what we need to push back against. We need to normalise the phrase remigration. Okay? You need to normalise that phrase. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees not welcome here. You need to normalise these phrases, because when we win, people need to know what to expect, which is remigration. The situation is with the Republic and the United Kingdom is, your problem is our problem is your problem. We have a common travel area. What happens to us will impact you. What happens to you will impact us. If we get all our ducks in a row and we get mass deportations off the ground, unless ERA follows suit with that open border, we've still got a heck of a problem. And the reverse is true. Through some miracle, if you get a government that's committed to mass deportations and actually making sure that Ireland belongs to the Irish, you're going to have the same problem unless we follow suit. It's just something to think about. So try to normalise the phrase remigration and say it loud and say it all over. Alright? It would be different, completely different, if you actually had a political party in the south, just like if we had a political party in the United Kingdom, that says, listen, we're open borders, pro-migration, we want the entire universe to come here, vote for us, and you voted for them. That would be different, but that's not what's happened here. There's a Northern Irish politician who sits up in Stormont, and he had a few choice words about it, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. His name's Jonathan Buckley. He's very good. He's very based, and I'm going to play this clip now.
Clear. If anybody around this table knew who they were, absolutely, I would have the police phoned and I would have people before the courts, because no one on this panel has endorsed violence. But that will not silence me in standing up and speaking up for those that have legitimate concerns. There's a huge conversation in Northern Ireland right now, and it's interesting tonight. Sinn Féin again have boycotted this programme. I've been now on live debates in BBC studios now, and on 3 occasions debating the issue of immigration. They have run away from the issue. There is no mainstream nationalist party and their bedfellows in the alliance that are prepared to actually stand up for people that have had enough.
Here's the thing, right? I really like Jonathan Buckley, but I don't like the framing. It's like the way that you always hear politicians talk about it is, we're standing up for the people if they're against mass migration. No. You're implementing the democratic will of your population. Isn't that what democracy is all about? So, he's right in principle, and he's very strong on this, and I've made posts on him before. He's very, very strong on this. You need to work on the framing, is what I would say.
And they've had enough. They've had enough with being scapegoated. And no one talked about responsible and respectable debate. I'd have him reminded that it was the Alliance Party and Jerry and others that scapegoated everybody that had a concern.
Can I ask you
far right and racist.
Again, it's the same playbook that you got over in the United Kingdom. If you're against mass migration, if you want justice for the exploited children of the United Kingdom on the Grooming Gang scandal, you're a far-right racist, bigot and thug. Or if you attend the United Kingdom rallies down all over the country, they're usually down in London, again, they've got nothing but disdain for you. There's a lot of tricolours at that United Kingdom rally, a lot of Ulster banners, Scottish, English, Welsh and British flags. We are in this together, and that's what I say, that's the hope I bring to you. This is my, I wouldn't say plea, but this is my view.
That's what happened.
Can I ask you a straight question? Is your party so terrified from the Alliance Party at the next election that it seems on a daily basis all you do is target their party? Is that what's going on?
No, I'll tell you what's going on. The DUP will unashamedly target anybody politically that is advancing an agenda that is against the interests of the Northern Ireland.
But your focus seems to be on
Alliance. No, it's across the board. You mentioned in your earlier contribution, is it okay for people to be Northern Ireland first? I'm unashamedly Northern Ireland first.
My principle
I was actually asking,
so UK people, British people, Northern Irish people, Irish or British.
There's a reason
part of
there's a
Northern
reason why
Irish
I am,
society as
because our
well. You
taxes
showed
should
it
be
on.
spent on our people.
That's
Fundamental.
Completely agree. British people first, Irish people first. Look after your own first, then look after the rest of the world, if and when your population votes for it. Now, the final clip and the hope that I bring you is from Professor Starkey. I have no idea the identity of this African migrant that's allegedly assaulted the child in Dublin. This still holds, and I'm going to play the clip because it really impacted me when I heard it earlier on today. We're not alone in this. There are a lot of people waking up, especially people in academia and in the new media. Legacy media will not help you. So I'm going to play this clip now.
As you wander through Pompeii, or as you go, as I did, to the wonderful archaeological museum in Naples, you wander into a gallery. They've taken frescoes off the walls, they're mounted. There's a tiny little section, well, on painting, and the art of the painter in the ancient world. And it shows a painter who happens to be a woman, sitting elegant, back, palette, brushing, easel. It shows the equipment, differential dividers, the understanding of the art of perspective. Do you know what? It took us 1800 years to recover that. Things die. I don't want to be at the dying fall of our own civilization. I think there is a chance to fight. The Muslim hordes were resisted at Poitiers. They were turned back. They were turned back in 1688 at Vienna. It can be done. It must be done. Or at least one should try.
So we'll leave that one there. He's right. We've got a heck of a fight on our hands. It's a fight for civilization itself. The greatest civilization that the world has known, which is the Western civilization. This is what's on the table here. The hope I bring you is if we've got people like Starkey and other people that are actually making the arguments, and we all need to start making these arguments. Remigration is inevitable at this point, and for what it's worth, from Britain, stay strong. We're going to get through this. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and normalise the word remigration as was said before. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. All the best.